All right. So basically, I'm supposed to talk to you about LMS, Learning Management System, or learning platform. There are many words to talk about learning management system. Basically, an LMS, it is just a box. It is a digital box, and in this box you put some digital learning materials, and learners can access those materials. Of course, some of them are more elaborated than other and got many options. Like you can access to statistic, you can. A university are using LMS, a small training organization are using LMS. You've got many possibility. But I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to tell you more about my green training box, which is the LMS we created at the end of 2020. And basically, we created this platform, which is the first free access digital learning platform on sustainable development. And basically, we did that because first we were very interested in sustainable development topics, because we were working on many projects linked with sustainable agriculture, linked with energy, linked with waste management, and so on. And we realized that basically there were not a lot of digital materials on some topics, and we realized that basically it was very complicated to find some content, digital content you can trust from a scientific point of view, but also from a pedagogical point of view. And we had this kind of crazy idea to say, okay, what about we launch a platform on sustainable development on many topics. We ensure that we reach high scientific and pedagogical quality, and cherry on the top of the cake, it's going to be free. And we were like young students starting a startup, a new company, and so on. We're very excited, and then we did it. Actually, we did it, and we launched the platform in October 2020. And since then, we release a new digital training course every month, at least in French and in English. But we also have content in Spanish, in Italian, in Flemish. Soon we will have content in Portuguese, in Polish, in many languages. And basically, users are from everywhere. So far, we've got more than 3,000 users, and they could be citizens like you and me. They could be students. They could be teachers. They could be employees working in very small or in very big companies, and they're all using the platform. What is nice is even if we are working into digital learning, we don't believe only in digital learning. And we know that my Green Training Box and the content on my Green Training Box are just basically tools, digital solution, but it is not possible for all the users to use my Green Training Box as for example, for self-education. So we give the trainers, the teacher, the possibility to use the platform the way they like. So basically, they could use it. They could integrate the platform in their own courses. They could use it when they do face-to-face training. They could use it before a face-to-face training if they want to make sure that all the participants will get kind of the same level on some specific topic. And that's the way we're working. We have so far 25 digital training courses available on the platform, and we have many partnership with school, university, and and business. And of course, every time people are asking us, it is the first time in my entrepreneur life that we're asking me so many times this question. But how do you finance this? How can you make it available for free? And basically, what we do is of course we apply to a lot of national European projects, and with the result of those projects, we are creating digital content we release on the platform, but also we get some finance from private companies that basically think that a model such as My Green Training Box could work because it is independent. You don't see any advertisements on the platform, and even if a private company is financing the creation of a digital training course, you will just have the logo at the end, saying that it's been very nice to finance the training, but that's it. So a bit of advertisement for the platform. So you've got some screenshot from the platform. We really work hard on the UX design of the platform. The root of the platform is a Moodle platform, which is kind of it is an open source learning management system. You can download, install on your server. But we've been working hard on the platform because our experience was that it is most, I don't know how many learning management system you've been trying, but most of the time it is they are very complicated to use. It is very complicated to access the content, and sometimes you're going to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to find out where are the training contents. And Anne-Sophie was talking about Netflix during a presentation, and it's true that video movie providers such as Netflix or Apple TV or whoever, basically they've been working on such interfaces which are basically easier to use. And we wanted with My Green Training Box, as when you log to the platform, that people can access the content in 2 clicks. And so we created that kind of big button because initially we were working with farmers, and when we're working on a kind of the UX design of the platform, during a meeting with farmers, one of them say, well, okay, listen, I've got big fingers, and if I'm using your platform on a tablet or telephone or whatever, I don't want very tiny small button I can find, or it's not going to work with my fingers. So we basically did it this way, thanks to this guy in a farm somewhere in the south of France. So a typical training course on My Green Training Box, we are using a pedagogy which is named microlearning. Microlearning is kind of a very short training courses. So a typical training course on My Green Training Box will be 10 video. We are using some motion design, kind of animated video like, and they last about 3 minutes each video. So it means that 10 video, it's going to be half an hour of video content for one training. And the last statistic we had, basically a learner is spending 1 hour and a half to achieve a training course on My Green Training Box from the beginning to the end. Then you've got the podcast. The podcasts are totally similar to the video. It is just the audio version of the video. We're just implementing some more titles and audio element. And the PDF is basically the text of the video. So you have the choice to watch, to listen, or to read your training content. We did that for many reasons. We put the PDF on the platform, and actually they are used a lot because we've got teachers printing the PDF and working on the text version with their student. 30% of the users are not in France, and basically, we wanted people with not low internet connection and so on to be able to download some materials and access the materials. The podcast, we met some students from an agricultural school in Bordeaux, and basically they told us about the podcast, as they really like the podcast. They've been downloading the podcast, and they've been doing all the biocontrol regulation, listening to podcasts while they were doing the gym. So it's we've been trying to have different tools, and of course you've got knowledge assessment at the end or during the training course, so you can get a certificate attesting you've been doing the training, because in France it's very important to attest that you've been doing a training. So of course you can have a look by yourself. It is on mygreentrainingbox.com. You can create an account. It is totally free, and basically it will give you an idea of what is a learning management system, and how you could implement your digital materials on such an environment. In the frame of the intro project, I told you that we've been turning Facebook into a learning management system, because basically you can, if you are creative and you got ideas, there are many ways to spread your digital content to your user, to your learners, to your students, and sometimes you don't need to spend a lot of money on the platform, because what is very important at the end of the day is basically the knowledge of the people who've been creating, the roots of the training course. I mean, the training program and the training materials. Then when you start doing the video and you start talking about the platform and so on, those are only digital solutions. The most important remain the technician, the scientific, the teachers who are providing basically the essential element to any education materials, if they are face-to-face or digital, it doesn't matter. They're still the most important element. And in this time of huge digitalization of everything and education content, I think we have to keep that in mind, because whatever the tools, the most important is the teacher or the trainer providing the course. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Wow, I've been very short. Do you have any question for on My Green Training Box or not, on digital learning, or for Jesse on gamification, or for Anne-Sophie for virtual reality, or not? You just want to go and have dinner?
Hey, Laurent, very quick one. Thank you for your presentation. One of the things that is most amazing about My Training Box is actually what you've been able to do with Moodle. That just shows us the potential that Moodle platform has, and I think it's a very, very interesting topic point. The other thing obviously has to do with the quality of the videos and the contents that you developed. But I was thinking, if we are positioning yourself, if you are positioning yourself in a sustainable way, how can we fight, this notion that people are still going to print stuff and they are still going to be using, paper form or leave some paper trail during their training courses, and how can we actually fight this without harming the educational process and how people record their information? Thank you.
Well, I mean, you're mentioning, well, I mean, it's funny you talk about the environmental impact of digital, of education materials, but actually paper is not the one having the most impact on the environment. The digital, basically all our digital activity got a lot of impact on environment. We are very active in Migrant Training Box with digital, with sustainable IT, and basically, you know, the digital world is having more impact those days that the plane, for instance, on plane transportation. And basically, they plan that by 2025, digital will have more impact than the transportation worldwide. So it's true that basically, as a participant to digital education, we must find solution to reduce and to be careful with our impact. And paper is not the most impacting element from digital education. For our company, the most impacting is basically the digital materials we are creating, like a streaming video and so on. But then you always have to consider the value of what you are creating. Maybe it's not the same value to stream video on my Green Training Box education video than basically, you know, streaming video of a baby cat on social networks. But we really try to improve everything we are doing regarding our digital habit and practices and so on. And you know, Diogo, that we're in the middle of a project together working on sustainable IT for digital education. And it is of course something we have to take into consideration. But you print hundreds of pages of paper every day. Basically, the baby cat video are more impacting